Well, welcome everyone. Today I have a very special guest with me. I can truly tell you that this individual is not only going to be one of our co-authors in our upcoming book, Landed for Success, but he truly has been a friend of mine for many, many years now. And I want to introduce to you Sensei Rick.
Hello,
Rick,
hello.
how are you?
Hi, nice to see you.
Great seeing you. For the folks who are watching, we will be getting ready to launch our volume two, Land for Success, Untold
Yes.
Stories. And so Rick Kaye is a friend of mine that we've been friends for years, and he has agreed to share his story. And you will fall in love with the story. Rick, before we get too far into this interview,
Yeah.
share with some of my friends who is who is Rick Kaye? Who is Sensei Rick?
I've been trying to think of the answer to that one. That's a good question. Well, I'm in Toronto. I'm 40 years old. I work as a online karate teacher. I've been in martial arts for roughly 30 years now, since I was a little kid. I got picked on a lot as a kid, and mom said, "Okay, it's time for you to start taking karate lessons to boost your confidence." And I did, and it worked after a number of years. I worked as a waiter for many years. I went to school for biology and psychology, and did a degree in master's degree for education. So I've been, involved in teaching for a long time. That's one of my passions, and just what I love to do, to pass on any knowledge I have, and build people up and just give out. So I
Wow.
think
Wow.
karate's been a good outlet for me for that too. Just the fitness part of it, just the fun, and just the mindset. Like, you got to work hard. There's goal setting. It doesn't come easy. It doesn't come for free. It took me 15 years to get to black belt. Like, it's a
How many
journey.
years to get to black belt?
It took me 15. Most people take 4 or 5, but I changed different studios and clubs and styles. Had to start over and learn different systems. But the end result, you keep learning, and it's a process.
Well, that's amazing. So you're an educator,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
I would love to bring you back another time
Sure.
and have you educate our audience, our clients from Landed for Success, a little bit about Bitcoin, blockchain. That's the area that I don't know a whole lot about, but I would love
Yeah.
to have you come back another time. I want to just say a shout out to Lester Bailey from Phoenix, Arizona, who is also a co-author with you in Landed for Success as well. And
Mhm.
he was a former police officer for 30 years in the Chicago police force. So thank you, Lester, and for all the folks who have served. And Rick, he has protected two U.S. presidents. Can you imagine
Wow. Yes,
that?
sir.
You would know. So you guys, if I was beside you and Lester, I wouldn't feel scared at all, right? Like with your karate and so on. Rick, let rather than just sharing your story right now,
Yeah.
is there anyone else in the book co-authors with you who you've kind of resonated with at all?
Yeah, definitely. John Shin, I met him at one of your events a number of years ago. He was a speaker, and I loved him. He was such a powerful speaker. Just the way he commanded the room, like everybody was listening. He's had so much success, and he's the executive producer of the Napoleon Hill book, Think and Grow Rich: The Legacy of the Movie. And man, this guy, he's so powerful. Like, I'm so excited to be in the same book as this guy.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing, right? Like here's an individual who's multi millionaire, right? Like his neighbors are like Will Smith and the Kardashians, so
Yeah,
successful. And can you imagine you are like in the same book with John Shin, Sir John
yeah,
Shin? How
yeah,
does that
yeah.
feel? How
Yeah.
does it make you feel?
I feel a little out of place, but I think the thing is great.
Well, I don't think you're out of place because people think about Landed for Success is only about stories that people have made it big.
Yeah.
Landed for Success is also about stories of individuals who have literally landed for success. And in the first book that I talked about, me as an immigrant kid landing here in Canada, being bullied,
Yeah.
right, and even just overcoming, finding a solution to stop being bullied is landing for success, right?
True.
You
True.
mentioned about being bullied. Like I can't see anybody bullying you now.
Yeah.
What was it like? Tell me a little bit about that. Like, what do you mean you were bullied?
Well, I've got a twin brother, identical twin. So we were very close growing up. And I
Yes.
guess that made us a little bit socially awkward. Like, we were just friends with each other and didn't necessarily have to go looking for other friends, because we satisfied each other's, social needs. And we went to a private school. My mom wanted us to get to a good education, but we were kind of lower income class compared to the other kids. And so that had a pretty big negative effect on everyone's perceptions of us. So, I'm also small in stature. I'm 5'5". A lot of men are bigger and stronger and taller than me. So just, my self-confidence was low because I was a small kid. So all these things put together, I guess, made me a pretty easy target. And I'm just like soft-spoken and just, a little introverted. So all these things, I guess, put together, put a bit of a target on my back, and I was not able to, fight back with, build the confidence until I was much older.
Wow. Would anyone want to mess with you now?
I don't know. I hope not. I don't want to mess with anybody either. I'm pretty gentle, but I got a couple of skills here and there, I suppose.
Amazing. Well, Rick, you are about to launch with your new book for the other co-authors. I believe here. Let's see if I can find this for a minute. I believe it is on February the 16th. Is that correct?
Yeah, 2 weeks from right now.
Yeah, Landing for Success, Untold Stories from Burnout to Victory. Tell us, for the folks who are watching, your friends, your business clients, my friends who are watching, how can they support you on February 16th?
That's a great question. I'd love for everyone to, do us all a huge favor, do me a huge favor, and log on at that time and, take a listen to all of the stories presented by all the authors, and then pick up a copy on Kindle, Amazon, a copy of the book. It'll be, I think, $2.99 to get a copy, digital. And I think if you have some kind of Prime membership,
I think if you have a Kindle Unlimited account, you can download it for free for a limited time.
Yeah.
Right. And like Rick mentioned, support Rick if you're a friend of Rick, right? His authors, and do him a huge favor, right? Share it with some friends. The stories, Rick and the authors, they've done their job, right? They've done what they had to do. I want to thank you for your vulnerability of even sharing your story, right?
Yes.
And if somebody says, I don't have a Kindle reader, it doesn't matter. You can still buy a copy, download it, and it's going to help Rick and his author get to #1 international bestseller. Why is that important, Rick, for you to be #1 bestseller?
I think it just helps us to reach more people. Like getting to #1 means that more people are reading it and being inspired by all these stories in the book. I know my story can touch some people, and there's, I think, 20 something other authors, and there's something for everybody in this book. Everyone goes through a lot of stuff in their life, and sometimes it's difficult to pull yourself out because you feel like you're alone. But when you can relate to somebody, you're reading their story, and it maybe gives you some confidence or some inspiration that you can change your life as well.
Yeah. Like I remember I was in Hong Kong. I was in Hong Kong. It was September, October. I was in Hong Kong visiting my grandson. I had not met yet because he, because of the pandemic and there was travel restrictions. And I remember being in a hotel and I was quarantining for two weeks.
I remember. Yeah.
And somehow it was like 3 a.m. What time would it be here at home? 3 a.m. in Hong Kong would have been.
Yeah, it was like 12-hour difference or something.
Yeah. And then you and I were talking on Facebook. We were just talking like, I don't know why I was even up at that point, right? And then we got talking and we started talking about the book, and you said, "Yeah, I'll be an author in the book."
Yeah.
Would you mind if I ask, what inspired you at that point to say, "Yeah, I'll be an author and share my story in the book"?
Yeah, good question. Like I tend to be kind of, quiet about my past. So I figured, I'm growing. I'm trying to, personally develop these days. So I think it'd be good for me to get my story out there, and good for others to hear a similar kind of story. Like, bullying is a big thing these days. It's been big forever. Yeah. And, seeing someone be able to, overcome it and become more successful because of the bullying. Like I wouldn't have been a sensei if I hadn't been bullied. I wouldn't have had to go into karate and try to develop the leadership skills that I've had to put together if I hadn't had a rough upbringing, right?
Wow, that's incredible. That's incredible. So as in your upbringing, I wasn't going to ask this question. Who do you think was one of your biggest influence in your life during your upbringing, other than your twin brother?
Twin brother for sure. Yeah. My mom, my parents, my family for sure. Very supportive. Pushed me to keep going. I took a couple of breaks during karate, for school, and they said, no, you should keep going. Like it's good for you. Like, yeah, I agree. So
amazing. Big shout out to mom, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I love that. Well, Rick, thank you so much for joining us again. For Rick's friends, my friends who are watching, mark it in your calendar, February 16th, come and join Rick live. It'll be on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram. You'll be able to watch it simultaneously, and there'll be more information coming out, right, for you to be able to join in and be able to support Rick and all the authors. And please, on the day of the launch, buy a Kindle version and help them become international bestsellers. So, Rick, before you go, I want to ask you one other question. So, the title of the book is from burnout to victory.
Yes.
We've gone some through tough times right now,
Yeah.
right? In the last couple of years. So if someone is experiencing burnout right now, what would your message be to them, for them?
Well, I guess number one is to kind of determine what the burnout is. Is it emotional? Is it financial? Is it what's the source of it? And then look to find someone who's had a similar issue, and then reach out to them, or read their story, or connect with people who want to support you and who care about you, and who just genuinely want to see the best from you. I think just human interaction is just we're not on the earth alone. Like we work together, we thrive together. So if you're in a tough spot, connect with as many people as you can, and I promise you'll find someone who's interested in giving you a hand.
Well, that's amazing. Well, once again, folks, thank you for watching. This is my good friend Sensei Rick, who is going to be a co-author in Volume 2, Landing for Success. And before you go, I want to put you on the spot. Would that be okay?
Sure. Okay.
All right. So I always have 3 questions for all my guests, just so that the folks can get to know you a little bit better.
Yeah.
My first question is, what is your favorite color?
Favorite color? Oh, geez, I don't know. We'll say blue.
Blue. Well, my guest picked blue yesterday as well. So
okay.
Blue. Okay. If you had a favorite ice cream, what would be your favorite ice cream?
I like high calorie stuff, like cookie dough.
Cookie dough. Yeah. That would be good. I'm going to try that. The third question is this.
Uh-huh.
If you could wave a magic wand right now, if you had a magic wand and you could just wave it.
Yeah.
What would be one thing you would do for Sensei Rick right now? Not somebody else, because I know like you have such a servant's heart. You always want to teach. You want to help other people.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to stop for a second. If you could wave a magic wand and do one thing for yourself, not somebody else, what would you do?
Oh, making me think over here. I see. All right. Well, I don't know. I'd love to teach karate. It's what I do. It's who I am. So I say, make it so that I don't have to worry about having an income. Just let me just teach without worrying about the financial aspect of it.
Wow. Financial freedom, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like if money wasn't the issue, you could just teach. I love that. Right. Maybe we can talk about it another day. But there's a kid who's in the Olympics right now. He's representing Team Canada for the men's ice hockey team.
Yeah.
I remember, and part of my story. I remember when I started a hockey school here in the East End of Toronto, at a stage where I can now give back. Yes, and I remember my son paying $50 or $100 for hockey schools and private and semi-private lessons.
Yeah.
Guess how much we charged for hockey lessons? $10. Okay, $10. Okay. And some people say, well, the quality of the education or the practice couldn't be that good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, kids under 4 were $2. It was a toonie. And we even had some parents who couldn't afford it from this end of the city that would hide, right? So we couldn't collect their $2. So to make a long story short, one of those kids today is now playing for Team Canada.
Oh my God.
Is that incredible?
Wow, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and I wanted to share that story because I know you as a sensei is constantly helping kids to become better. And I want to thank you for that.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
So before you go, you have any final comments, final thoughts?
No, I'm super excited to get my story out and have people relate to me. And I want to read all the other stories in the book too, because I know there's a lot of really powerful people who've gone through a lot. So I'm excited to read everything about them.
Amazing. So once again, Rick, thank you so much, folks. On the 16th, please join in on the live book launch. You'll hear a little bit more about Rick's story, the other author's story, and please, on the 16th, go and grab a copy of Rick's book on Amazon and help him become #1 international bestseller. So
yes.
Till the next time, thank you, everyone, and get a book, or we're going to have Sensei Rick karate chop you. No, just kidding.
Thank you so much.